This is the first time I realized reading books can actually make you more money. So, if you don't know me, my name is Nick. I own the fitness studio called The Trainer Page, and I am starting to make content to document my journey on creating a multi-million dollar business within the fitness industry. And I've been in the business game for 5 years now, and I am looking to share my experiences where I've learned insane lessons in personal growth and business growth. And I'm starting with the story of the first time I read a book and it actually made me money. So, when I started independent personal training, I did go into it with a business motto. So, my name is Nick Page, and the Trainer Page stemmed from my last name and being called Trainer Page as a trainer at the first gym I worked at. Now, the summer of 2018 is when I decided to go all in and quit working construction and go into my own business as an independent personal trainer. And I knew nothing except how to train, and that's kind of where it started. I knew nothing related to sales, marketing. So the first thing I did was I invested my life savings, which was $6,000. I think it was like $6,100 in my savings. I bought a $6,000 program that a company that marketed for me. And then it gave me a phone script. It taught me how to sell. And it's crazy because at the time I didn't even know I was selling, as weird as that sounds. So this offer that they had, Facebook ads were still at a pretty cheap cost per lead. I was getting leads and it was an insane offer. I didn't even know what I was doing. So what happened was, at first when I started, I would get these ads, and let's just say I went into this whole program with zero planning or intention. So I ended up not even having a gym to train at. So what would happen is I'd get these leads and I'd call them up and I'd go through this little call script, and I end up asking, let's do a free session. Where do you work out? And they would tell me LA, Planet, Unique, you name it, I've been there. And what happened was I would go on Google and I would find free passes because I wasn't buying a gym membership at those places. I would get these free passes. I would go there early, make sure I get in before the person, and I usually would just walk around or walk on the treadmill until they came. And I specifically remember I purposely made sure I had a clipboard with me and I would go through the workout. Now, what ended up happening was either A, people wouldn't show up, or B, when the people did show up, it was a little sketchy. I just met them at the gym and I was looking to train them. I'd put them through the workout, and at the end of it, I would try to find my way in the back corner so wasn't known what was going on, and I would walk next to them on the treadmill. And I would then proceed into my sales scripts, which at the time, what the offer was a 12-week unlimited one-on-one personal training program that included a bunch of other stuff. And I was charging, I think it was $1,500 for it. So $500 a month. And it was unlimited sessions where I would then recommend 3 times a week. Now, at that time, that was an astronomical amount of money. It was insane when that first came out. And it's crazy. One thing that was crazy about it was I didn't even think I was worth it at that time, now knowing what I know. And so what ended up happening was I got told no a lot. And then I also got kicked out of these gyms in front of these people a lot. And you think that helped the sale? No. One time specifically, I'll never forget, I was at LA Fitness. The manager came over, she freaked out, and she actually ended up taking the person I was with and reconsolidating how she had like 40 personal training sessions left with LA Fitness and how they can get on board. And I've never been back to that LA Fitness, let's just say. I don't like that LA Fitness anyway. So after probably 50 to 100 no's or getting kicked out or just getting no shows, the gym owner who I worked for allowed me to use the facility in the meantime. Now, right at that time was when I was transferring to my third college, which I ended up dropping out of anyway. And a good friend of mine, Tyler Andriossi, introduced me to Grant Cardone, introducing the book To Sell or Be Sold. And I listened to that book on my 3-hour breaks. The 3-hour break I had between 2 classes, I remember at my first semester there, where at first I was pitching an upfront offer of, it was a $2,500 price anchor, which I didn't even know at the time, and it was selling it for $1,500, and you can do 3 payment plans. So I sold 4 or 5 people on that sale, but I had zero confidence, zero idea what I was doing. Reading Grant Cardone's book, To Sell or Be Sold, which is a great listen because Grant talks and he has his, his accent, he gets really into it. That really taught me how you can break sales, you can make the sale into a way that seems more logical and can help the person out, which gave me more confidence because it just made actual sense to me. So what I ended up doing was I ended up breaking my personal training packages I was selling into a monthly program, but a 12-week commitment instead of trying to sell them on a $1,500 program. And I ended up devaluing my service price, but it gave me more confidence in the sale. And I ended up, once I read that book and I took action, I applied what I was learning, because one thing people do is they read books, but they read them without any experience. I did have some sales experience, not knowing what the hell I was doing, to then taking what I learned, applying it right away. And going into the summer of 2018, I went from 5 to 25 clients, which was a huge deal for me at the time. And that's where that summer I just started grinding out, going from 4 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. I was a yes man. I was doing everything I can. And I set the goal to hire a part-time trainer to help me out, because again, I wanted to be a legit business. And I set that goal for November, I think it was November 11th. My birthday is November 19th, but I don't think it was my birthday. And I wrote that goal on my bedside, right next to my bed, have enough clients to have to hire a personal part-time trainer. And I hit that goal 5 days before the end date, which was written on my wall. And that is the very beginning story of how I created and started the trainer page, and how this one book gave me the confidence and 5x my clients and money revenue. And that really flipped the switch in my brain of, wow, reading books can actually help you. And it was actually fun doing it. And that's when I became obsessed with reading books and applying and looking for those solutions within those books and talking to people. So that was my little story on when the first book I read actually made me 5x my income. And I'll have plenty more stories to share, and I'm looking forward to it. So follow, like, subscribe, and we'll keep it going.